Uh, the Jaws sequels are looking like masterpieces now, am I right? Hey guys, this is Frozen Thing Stews here, and welcome back to another video. And today, I am going to be doing a rant on Meg to the Trench. So, Meg to the Trench is the sequel to the god awful Jaws parody movie. I'm not gonna use the ripoff term because yeah, it's meant to be a parody. Yeah, the sequel to the Meg from 2018 and is directed by Ben Wheatley and it stars Jason Statham, Cliff Curtis, Shuya Sophia Kai, Jing Woo, Paige Kennedy, Perez Manchetta, Skylar Samuels, Whoopi Van Ram, uh, I guess some others, etc. And so basically, the plot for Beg to the Trench, it tells a story of the crew, the research crew, pretty much the same as the same people from the first film, minus a few others who pretty much encounter multiple sea creatures threats while as they explore the depths of the ocean to investigate a bunch of like to investigate a mining operation threat and they get attacked by a bunch of sea creatures, well technically kaiju's, and well actually technically it's only one kaiju, there's like a bunch of other creatures that comes out of them. And then they find out that there's like this evil human company that's trying to take over the ocean, that's trying to this to take down the research team, and yeah, there's like this huge battle, and then the shark, and then we get another megalodon that pretty much attacks the team and is headed towards the beach. So once again they must protect the beach from the shark and yada yada yada. Yeah. um yeah, so yeah, Neck to the Trench is without question one of my least anticipated movies of the year. Yeah, like even from the start, even just the moment I heard that there is a Meg 2, I was like, oh god, please no, not a Meg sequel. Yeah. As for my thoughts on the first Meg movie from 2018, yeah, it sucks. I know that the Meg has its fan base. There are people who say that who describe the Meg as a dumb fun movie, like a mindless popcorn entertainment, like one of those guilty pleasure films that will just make people turn off their brains and just enjoy the action scenes and just the fun of it all. I mean, the movie did deliver, like did give us a promise of basically that was going to be a mindless entertaining flick. Like we all knew that it was going to be stupid and absurd as we all saw in that trailer, but like Warner Brothers and pretty much the marketing for this movie promised a dumb, stupid, fun movie that it just it looked like it was going to be like self-aware and the knew it was going to be. But turns out the movie is not a minus entertainment. It's a film that takes itself far too seriously and takes itself. Yeah, that movie takes itself way too seriously. It's incredibly slow, incredibly boring. It's just all talking, and pretty much it just makes the audiences have to wait for the final battle to get the fun. I understand why some people would just judge the movie based on the third act. Say, oh, at least the third act had the shark, so it's still good despite the first two acts being bad. No, that's not how it works. You don't just say a movie is good just for the teeniest bit of the teeniest aspect is good. It's like saying an animated movie is good because of the animation style. And believe me, I know some people who say that certain anime movies are good because of the animation style and not pretty much considering that the movie has terrible writing and characters. So yeah, I mean I understand where people are coming from, but it's just not for me. It just wasn't really exciting, and I mean I am the perfect target audience for dumb fun and minus entertainment flicks. I mean, action is my favorite genre. It's my type of entertainment. Way more than comedy. Like every time there's an action scene that may have a generic plot, and like I just have to like sit back down and just enjoy the dumb fun experience of the movie. Yeah, for example, the MonsterVerse. Well, like for example, yeah, the modern Fast and Furious films. Well, Fast 8, 9, Hobbs and Shaw. Like technically, Fast 8 and 10 and Hobbs and Shaw. Well, Fast and Furious 5 to 7, I personally consider it less straight up good, like not guilty pleasure good, just a really good movie. Like a few of them. And yes, also the MonsterVerse. Well, minus Godzilla 2014 and Kong Skull Island, like specifically Godzilla King of the Monsters and Godzilla, and especially Godzilla versus Kong. Yeah, they are guilty pleasure. They are like perfect example of just dumb fun minus entertainment that just they're stupid, they're dumb, they're absurd, but but it makes you just enjoy them. Yeah, you just don't take them way too seriously. Yeah, and yet people take the modern Fast and Furious movies and Godzilla versus Kong way too seriously. Yet the Meg gets a pass, even though the movie takes it out too serious. Yeah, and would label it as dumb fun. So yeah, yeah, and with Meg to the Trench, yeah, based on the trailers, it looked even worse than the original film. It looked like another poor attempt at a Meg movie. As it is just it looks like the exact same thing, and you're just wondering why is this movie being made. And yeah, that trailer was atrocious. Probably one of the worst trailers of the year. I still think Trolls Band Together had the worst trailer. But Meg 2 is certainly one of them. And yeah, this is my least anticipated movie of the month. It sucks that this was the first movie I'm watching, but hey, at least I get to watch better movies like later on in the month to make up for this piece of trash that I just witnessed. And yeah, um, I was gonna watch this movie online. I was not planning to see this movie in theaters. And I was like planning to watch Oppenheimer for a second time in IMAX. Well, looks like that plan's on hold now because my parents are actually fans of the first Meg movie, and they wanted to see this movie so badly. Like so I was literally forced to watch this abomination on big screen. The only good thing I can say about that is that I didn't pay anything. My parents paid a full price for all of us because it was them watching it, and I just wanted to like get this crap out of the way. I just want to see cinemas just to see how bad it is. And oh my goodness, this movie is really, 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 really bad. I mean, oh my goodness, this movie is absolutely trash. I'm just speechless right now. This movie is just like so like oh my goodness, like seriously I'm pissed that like I am pissed right now that this movie like turned out to be this bad, this bad, like holy crap. Yeah, this is the worst movie I've seen in theaters since Fan Four Stick. Yeah, like yeah, I'm sure I'm usually like a generous guy when I come out to movies. I don't usually like rarely that have I ever came out of a movie theater saying that that I actually hated it. Yeah, not happened with Morbius, which was last year's Morbius, where I just came out just absolutely hating it. But I didn't hate it as much as when I saw it on digital. Sorry, I just got water. Anyways, but yeah, yeah, but Fantastic is probably the last time I remember walking and be like, oh my god, this is one of the worst movies I have ever seen. Yeah, Meg to the Trench is yeah, one of the worst movies. Like I don't know how it compares to some of the other bad movies, but I honestly think that this is the worst action movie. Yep, this is my least favorite action movie I have ever seen. I am going that far. It is just embarrassing as to how this movie was even approved. Like this, how did they even green it a sequel? This is a perfect example as to why not all sequels should be made. Now, personally, I am a defender of sequels. I love movie sequels. My one of these days, I'm going to be doing a full video as to why I defend movie sequels. And why I think sequels don't deserve to be seen as the scum of the scum of modern day Hollywood, especially in comparison to remakes. But one thing I will say about one thing I admire about sequels, at least they tell a different story. We just have the same characters as the first one, like the same. We just have the same protagonist, and you just follow the same characters, and that's what I love about sequels. Is that I just really love to see want to see more of these characters, and we get them. It's hard for me to get enough of these characters, and we get these characters. Not all movies that need sequels, and The Meg is certainly a perfect example of a movie that did not need a sequel. Thank God for this movie getting um, demolished by critics. It has like a 29%. Yeah, one of the most, and it is one of the most critically panned movies I've seen this year so far. Yeah, and I think it's well deserved. I think it's well deserved because yeah, this movie yeah, deserves all the critical hate for this movie. Yeah, and yeah, wow. Now, is there anything good about this movie? Is there anything just worth giving even a slight ounce of credit for? Technically, 0.1%. Yes, there is like 0.1% redeeming qualities to this film. What are the positives in this film? Well, in the beginning of the film, well, technically not the prologue, the one after the Meg to the Trench title scene, and it just cuts this scene right here, where we see Jason Statham's character just show up on screen. Yeah, I like that the beginning of the movie took place in the Philippine Sea because Philippines is my country. So yeah, of course, whenever Hollywood has their movies that take place in the Philippines, it's automatically a positive, and yeah, it's automatically positive because rarely do we ever get Hollywood movies where the characters go to the Philippines. I've seen many movies where they go to Hong Kong, but not often do they go to the Philippines. So I wish that happened more often. And this movie did and yeah, this movie did just do a good job of just well, not anything, but just I just like the fact that they went to the Philippine Sea in for 2 minutes of the runtime, and also they played in that same scene. They played the Under Pressure song, like as in Under Pressure by Queen. I like that, and it's literally stuck in my head right now. Like the Under Pressure song is probably the thing I remember the most about this movie. I walked out of this movie being like, oh, they played the Under Pressure song. Walking out of this movie, I got the Under Pressure song out of my head. So yeah. But those two things have nothing to do with the actual quality of the movie. It's just more of my personal bias that oh, I love how they include this, but that had nothing to do with the entire movie because holy crap, there is just endless positives of this movie. Like endless, I mean, sorry, negatives. I'm not gonna go all out just rambling about every single thing wrong with this movie. I don't even remember a lot that I was thinking about when watching this movie. So yeah, but now let's talk about what the reasons as to why I hate this movie. But let's start off with probably the biggest problem with the movie. It doesn't feel like a shark movie. It doesn't feel like what it's supposed to be. Yeah. Yeah. So if you're expecting going into this movie expecting a dumb fun minus entertainment movie that's about Jason Statham taking out the shark round two, well, you're not getting that. You're not getting that. Yeah. You're pretty much going to be singing through a singing through such a chore of a movie in the first two acts of the movie. Because you have to sit through an overcomplicated storyline with far too many plots and far too many things going on, and yeah, and you're just gonna be like, where is the shark fight? Where is it? Well, yeah, where is it? And yeah, yeah, you're not gonna be like, oh my, you're gonna be just sitting there, just desperately waiting for the action to come, and you're just like, where is it? Because Now, remember in Pacific Rim Uprising, where pretty much you're going to the movie expecting pretty much another thing about another mech versus kaiju fight like action scenes. Like you're going to this movie expecting more of these robot versus kaiju big battle scene. Yeah, battle scene. But then like in the first two acts, you have to suffer through an overcomplicated plot that's just focused on humans, and you just have and you're just like sitting there wondering where the hell is the action. That is exactly Meg to the trends. In fact, I think this movie is even worse than Pacific Rim Uprising. At least Pacific Rim Uprising has like okay characters, like the kid girl. She was fine. I guess she was like like she wasn't a bad character. Like she wasn't a bad character. She's just like I didn't care for her, but she wasn't a bad character. But yeah, and yeah, but this one, yeah, all the characters just freaking stunned. Like not a single one of these characters are really good, and yeah, my God, this movie is incredibly boring and so slow. Yeah, it's slow because you have to suffer through this overcomplicated plot, and the movie just moves us so slow, like a pace, pace of pace of a snail, and yeah, basically you see these characters just going underwater just for like majority of the runtime. And I mean not in a way where like there's action scenes, even if there's a tiny bit of action, like basically with just kaiju's and creatures attacking. No, yes, it's a bit of that, but most of the time it's just these characters walking underwater and then just trying to detect it. I was like, oh my God, get do something, get somewhere, like get the plot somewhere. Don't just waste time just watching these characters underwater for 2 hours. I mean, who would want to watch that? I mean, that sounds as equivalent as just watching paint drying for like 2 hours. Like no one wants to just see that, and also a bunch of exposition thrown into like that scene. And pretty much throughout the whole movie, there's like a bunch of exposition, like just tossed in, and you just don't care about it. Yeah, what else did I say? Yeah, the underwater, and yeah, and also the underwater scenes of and the underwater scenes in this movie. Oh God, that looks just ugly. I mean, it's so bad. I mean, I thought a Little Mermaid had atrocious underwater visuals, but this movie makes the underwater visuals in that remake look like Avatar: The Way of Water's underwater visuals in comparison. Yeah, that ugly, and the cinematography is far too dark. Like it's just so dark to see. Like so many times, like it's just so hard to follow. Like you just don't even know what the hell is happening because the cinematography is just bland and dark. Like too dark. Not the tone. I mean like the fact that you can't see anything, and it makes the story hard to follow. And pretty much majority of the runtime is spent like in the submarines, like in the boat, like you just trying to experiment and things. Yeah, and yeah, and you know what is pretty much the bottom of the barrel for this movie? The biggest, what is the biggest red flag? The fact that this movie has an human antagonist, and I mean as if the main antagonists are humans. What? Like, really? And that what's worse is that there's actually it's not just one villain. There's like three villains in this movie. The main one is this Spanish guy. Like I know he's Spanish. That's all I know about his guy. And then he's actually working for this female boss with short hair, and that not really short, still a bit long, but yeah, whatever. I don't even know who played her. And also the Spanish guy's love interest, blonde hair girl, blonde hair young woman, who apparently got eaten by a shark like inside a meal, like when the shark just crushed it and just ate her. Yeah, that's something. The blonde haired girl would have been a good character, but but no, she's just there, and she's just there, and the villain is just there. The human villain subplot is the human like pretty much has nothing to do with the movie. Like I don't even remember like what their motivation is, and what exactly they're trying to do. All I know is that they just they're just trying to hunt down the main characters, and that's pretty much it. They don't really do anything in this movie. So I don't know why this movie needed human villains. I mean, you got the Megalodon as the villain. I mean, in the first film, the Megalodon is the main villain, and like the movie is Jason Statham versus the shark. So the shark is the main antagonist. You got that. You got that. And yeah. Oh, and but in this one, the shark is basically like pushed a side villain now. Like considering that the main antagonist is the human. Like you're questioning like why is the shark like what the like the shark is just there just to be there just because of the mega movie. And speaking of the shark, oh my goodness, the shark in this movie, like what they did with the shark is unforgivable. I mean, the shark it is like in 20 minutes of the movie. 20, yeah. And like the shark barely has any screen time. This is the movie about a shark. At least the first big movie had enough scenes. Yes, I will give it that. At least there was enough shark scenes. Even though the shark will just randomly appear like out of nowhere for 1 second, like every time like you see them in the sea, like randomly the shark will just jump at them and then just okay go away and then it'll just come back for like a few minutes later he just comes back, do the same thing and then just like jump on the characters and then yeah. Um, but in this one, like, there's barely any shark scenes. I know, like, the shark made a 1 second appearance in the prologue, which, by the way, that prologue is incredibly pointless. It's basically pretty much. I'm sure you remember what you saw in the trailer, where, like, there's, like, a bunch of tiny creatures, and then, like, they'll just get eaten by creatures, and then the bigger creatures would eat, like, the bigger creatures, like, and then all that stuff, and then you got the T Rex eating all the smart creatures, and then you got the shark eating the T Rex. Like it's like basically just a comparison. Like this is a small animal. And then the big animal is strong, eats the small animal because it's bigger, and then the animals the show gets bigger and bigger and bigger until shark level big. Yeah, that's basically what the prologue is. It's like what's the point of that prologue? I don't get it. I don't get it. The shark makes like a few 1 second appearances in the middle, but like not as much as the first one. Like there's like I think three like 1 second appearances in the middle. Like I counted three, and then you got the ending, which by the way, I mean the shark doesn't even like only has like even like throughout the even like in the climax of the movie, like pretty much the other creatures in kaiju gets more screen time than the shark. Yeah, you got Jason Statham, the shark battling out, but the movie, like the climax is focused on. The climax is focused more on the other creatures of this movie, like the guy, like I forgot those guys' names, and also the kaiju, like they battling out, like that's gets more screen time than Jason Statham versus the shark. So in the summarization, the final battle does not feel earned at all. Like it doesn't feel earned because it's just nothing. Because it's basically just like like the shark doesn't even get the most focus, doesn't even get the most attention from all of the creatures. And yes, by the way, and the characters of this movie, oh my goodness, they all suck ass. Yeah, the blonde haired lady is the best character of the film, but that's not barely a compliment. I mean, the blonde haired lady was like working for the villain apparently. Yeah. But yeah. Where do I start for this? Yeah. You got to know Jason Statham, which by the way, I like Jason Statham. I like him as an actor, like especially as Deckard's shown the Fast and Furious movies from Furious 7 to like the present day Fast and Furious. But like is this character this movie Jonas forgot his last name Jonas Taylor, yeah, like he is Jason Statham's worst performance. Yeah, I mean, like even Jason Statham usually saves up bad movies, but Jonas Taylor is just not a good character at all. Yeah, he is Jason Statham's worst performance. Yeah, and then you got Cliff Curtis who played the chief in the village chief in Avatar: The Way of Water. Yeah, really, Cliff Curtis. You is this how you follow up Avatar: The Way of Water? Really? Um, really? That this is not how you follow. And remember the little Chinese like female character, the little Chinese kid from the first Meg movie, where she was just a tiny kid. Well, she's this one. Apparently, she's a teenager now. Oh my goodness, she is so annoying. Like she is just super annoying. Um, yeah, like I expected. I thought that I don't know what I was thinking, anyways. But yeah, she's not a good character. She's annoying. She's bratty. She, like, always, like, she always wants to get herself, like, she wants to, like, endanger herself and others because of how stupid she is. And yes, these characters make so much stupid decisions. Yeah, stupid decisions. Oh yeah, and also the Chinese guy, which is apparently the Chinese Asian teenage girl's uncle, who apparently gets eaten by a shark for no reason. Oh yeah, apparently I'm sure you noticed that there's an absence of a certain Asian woman who's apparently the teen Chinese girl's mother. Apparently the movie does explain why she's absent, but it's just I don't even remember why. It just made no sense. I'll just say that it didn't make sense. And they should have brought that character back for the first movie. Yeah. What else is there to say? Uh, Sorry about that. I just ate before recording. But anyways, I guess that's it. And you know what? Yes, I'm done. I'm so done with this. So yeah. So overall, Meg 2 The Trench is just a simply awful movie. Simply awful movie. It's a movie that's supposed to be like that's supposed to be dumb, but like dumb fun, like it's stupid, but you actually like get some ironic enjoyment out of it. But the movie just fails at doing accomplishing that in every single level because of how incredibly slow and boring it is. Like the movie is slow. There's barely any action. The shark has such a unforgivable lack of screen time. The human characters are intolerable. The human antagonists serve no purpose to the movie and just defeats the purpose of the shark being a villain. Being the main antagonist, but since now he's reduced to the side, and and yeah, and because I know how this movie fails at making you just like feel the like have fun, like ironically have fun and turn your brain off, you'd easily see the obvious bad plot and stupid decisions and absurdity but made by the characters because yeah, the movie just doesn't let you have fun. It's like, oh, who cares about fun? Like, you have to suffer through the plot first, and the final battle just feels honored. Yeah, and yeah, this movie like always like just desperately waiting for this movie to end. Yeah, this is the worst action movie I have ever seen in my life. Period. And as a fan of action movies, this movie just is extremely in. This movie is a disgrace to the action genre. Like, it is an absolute disgrace. And yeah, I never want to see these Meg movies ever again. Yeah, if they make Meg 3, well, it depends on how many movies suck on the same year. I'll probably watch Meg 3 just to see how bad it is. But anyways, yeah, I doubt the Meg 3 will be made anyways. I like this movie didn't need to be exist in the first place, and I'm sure this movie's gonna flop at the box office because the flop like this movie's gonna flop at the box office because this movie was not marketed. There's literally only one trailer, like barely, like no promotional material for this one, and it came out the same day as. It came out the same day as TMNT Mutant Mayhem, which is probably gonna be the highest grossing movie of August. And I'm sure people are still gonna watch gonna watch Barbie and Oppenheimer and yeah, expect this to be this probably might be the biggest Warner Bros. Flop of the year, even more than the DC movie. So yeah, and yes, people, I think this is the worst Warner Bros. Movie that I have ever seen. Yeah. So yeah, and yes, this is the second worst movie of the year so far. Beer by Wendy is still the worst. And oh, speaking oh yeah, and also yes, this like yeah, this is you. Yeah, this movie is a worse underwater movie than Little Mermaid. I still hate Little Mermaid, but on reflection, The Little Mermaid is probably my fourth worst movie of the year. Like Beer by Wendy, this and Amazing Maoris are all worse than Little Mermaid. I still hate Little Mermaid. And also I now think Mulan 2020 is worse than Little Mermaid. Little Mermaid, yeah. Oh yeah, and I should add as well. This is the worst shark movie. Yes, I even take the Jaws sequels over this one. Even Jaws Revenge. Wow, what an accomplishment this movie has, this abomination of a movie has made right here. Oh yeah, by the way, before I get on with my rating and conclusion of the video, I forgot to mention one part of this review. One, what the unforgivable decision that's made in the film. The shark turns into a good character. What? What the hell? So basically, what happens is that one of the characters would do something to the shark. I forgot how. Like he was like holding this flashlight that's not even on the, and then he just like try to this. He's like trying to like send a message to the shark to leave the people alone, and then the shark just goes away without dying. What the hell? Writers really like that is defeating that basically defeats the whole purpose of these shark movies. Don't make the shark the good guys, like in favor of human villains. Oh my freaking god. uh so yes, with that said, guys, I'm gonna give Meg to the Trench a 1 out of 10. Oh, whew. Thank God. I never want to see these movies again. Yeah, I can't remember hating on a movie this much. Like, hating on the movie like a movie that I watch in the cinemas this bad. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. So that's all for my rant on Meg to the Trench. What is your opinion of this movie? Do you find this movie to be a dumb, mindless entertainment, guilty pleasure, or do you agree with me that this movie is just straight up plain bad and one of the worst movies of blockbusters of its caliber? Comment down below, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and stay tuned for my what's the next video again? Oh yeah, yeah, stay tuned for my defense video on movie sequels, or there might be another video planned. We'll see. But yeah, bye guys.